Learn a simple 3-row border that accentuates the alternative slip stitch joining technique perfectly. Each row plays an important role. Row 1 fills, row 2 evens, and row 3 trims. Easy as 1, 2, 3. So let's begin.
We're going to attach our yarn in any stitch along any of the sides. And we're going to, with 2 strands, with the feeder and the yarn tail, we're going to chain 2. And we're going to pull this one through all the way, and that'll be woven in later. But those 2 chains represent a half double crochet. We're going to continue to work 1 half double crochet all the way to the end of the motif. You're going to put 2 half double crochets in that space right at the corner of the motif. Okay? And then we're going to yarn over, insert our hook right under those 2 loops of the end stitch of the little ridge, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is double crochet. And what that does, it's sort of like it keeps that raised look going right up to the edge of the Afghan. And so now we're going to work 2 half double crochets in the next corner space right here. And then we're going to continue with 1 half double crochet all the way to the corner, the next corner. Now, the next corner happens to be the corner of the Afghan. We've just put the last half double crochet into this stitch because remember, there's 2 chains at the corner. So it looks like you're finishing early, but right when you get to that corner space, you're going to work 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more half double crochets in the corner of the Afghan space. And then we're going to go right down this side like we did before, working a half double crochet in each stitch along this edge until we get to the seam. Just for clarification, I want to go through this corner one more time. And so I'm going to work a half double crochet in each of the stitches across until I get to the corner of a motif, just before a join. I'm going to work 2 half double crochets into that corner space. Then I'm going to yarn over and go under. Now this one's really, really tight, so instead of fighting it, just go into the space and come out on the other side of it, like that. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. It does just as an effective little raised stitch. Now, in the next corner space, we're going to work 2. Now here's the clarification, just so you get it, okay? See these 2 loops here underneath these 2 stitches? That is actually the top 2 loops of this stitch. We're actually skipping that stitch and working into the next stitch and then working 1 in each one across. If you notice, I use the edge to weave in all my ends. And you see this little floofy end that's sticking out? A little tag, you might say. Don't worry about it, because when we work over it, we just work right over it. And I don't worry about those, because I always wash the blanket before I give it away or before I sell it. So what you want to do is ignore that, give it a nice washing. That settles all those little tags into place, and then I go and do the trimming. At the beginning of the round, right where the 2 chains are, we're going to slip stitch into the top of the second chain and pull it through. Now that just joined our round. This end needs to be woven in before, like right there, before we get around this round. The second row of the edging does 2 things. One, it accentuates, once again, the raised stitch. It also evens out the edge. But one of the things is that you have to use your judgment on this row. So we'll take care of that as we go. So the second row is chain 2. That represents the first half double crochet. Now we're going to work a half double crochet in each of the stitches right up until reaching the end of the motif. Here is our double crochet, our raised double crochet. And we did that once again by going under the 2 loops of the join. But when we reach this stitch, we're going to work another raised double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and insert our hook from the front to the back and the right to the left, right under that post, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Because we're working around the post, it's the same height as the half double crochet. And then we can continue on. And we're just going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the stitches. If you think that this is flaring, where it's getting little ripples, go to the center of the side and work a half double crochet 2 together. And a half double crochet 2 together is done by yarning over, inserting our hook under the top 2 loops of the next stitch, pulling up a loop, yarning over, going into the next stitch, pulling up a loop in the next stitch, the top 2 loops of the next stitch. So you have 5 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through all 5. Then we just continue on. If it's not flaring, you don't have to do anything other than work your half double crochets. But it's a judgment call on how you like it. And in my case, I think that squares it off, because the object of this row is to get this edge perfectly straight. Okay? And so we have a raised stitch over our join, over the stitch over the join, and I took a little ease in here by doing a half double crochet 2 together. The corner on this round is worked with 2 half double crochets, chain 2, just like before, and 2 half double crochets. Now, just as we did before, that first half double crochet of the row below is actually under the corner ones. So we're just going to skip that and go on to the next. And work 1 half double crochet in each one. And once again, we're going to insert our hook in the top of the chain up and just work a slip stitch to join. So now we're ready to start the final row. And we're going to be working from the left to the right. And we start this by chaining 1, yarning over the hook, inserting our hook right at the base of that chain, and pulling up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Chain 1. Yarn over the hook, skip 1, and in the next one, pull up a loop. Now you're pulling up the loop to the left of the rest of the loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Chain 1. Skip the next one. So this is the one we're going to be going into. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Chain 1. And that makes a lovely braided edge. And it's about the same thickness as our raised stitch here, which keeps the whole Afghan very uniform. So I'm going to work all the way to the corner so I can show you how to do the corner. I'll meet you then. When you reach the corner, all you want to do is skip 1 and then work right under the 2 loops of the chain. Chain 1, skip the next one, go into this one. So you treat it just as if the chains, just as if they're stitches on the corner. And that way, it's a perfect turn on the corner. I've just put my last full stitch there, and now I'm going to put it right at the base of the turning chain where we started, chain 1. Now we can clip our yarn once you pulled it through, and you're going to lay this down and stitch just through the top of that stitch so that it mimics what we have already gotten accomplished. And that's how you end this off. Now what you want to do is you want to bring your yarn down to 1 row below, right there. And now we're going to weave in this yarn along this level. You never want to weave it in along the upper edge. And the reason is because little kids, and this is a baby Afghan or a toddler Afghan, will find that end and will pull at it. Trust me.
I hope you enjoyed watching the 3-row border. Please take a moment to subscribe and rate the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. Happy crocheting!